Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, today we are going to be handling UMGC homework and pushing through to the next project. I'm not going to just wait until uh, Tuesday to get started when I can be getting started now and staying ahead of schedule by 3, 4 days. So I've done everything I needed to do, and now here comes the UMGC time. Depending on how much work you put in, is how easy it's gonna be. I'm not never gonna let my studies lapse or my structure lapse and become obsolete in a world where I choose to explore and choose to manifest these desires that makes me want another master's and beyond that. I can never get to the dissertation. I don't, maybe one day, but I did take a doctorate's class prior, and it was very relieving. The staff was amazing. Everybody was cool. So I just want to do the right things and do the UMGC homework. Because one, I get paid to perform. I'm going in this blindsided. What I mean by that is the volunteer Army member criteria um, I submitted. So I hope I did it right. I could have done it wrong. I did reread it. It probably wasn't done in his light. I'm always thinking negative, but I just want, I don't know. You never know. So we're about to see. Oh, okie doke. mm, Change plan part one. Lord. I wonder why they call them Lord. There's so many threes and fours in there. I'm on sevens and threes. January 17th. Hmm. Where was I at prior to this? This one. Yep, 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 yep. Okay. 8. The coalition has just concluded another breakout meeting, and you return to your desk to check your email. Among the new messages is an email that throws you for a loop. Inbox one new message. Coalition qualified. You, Sherry Towson, Me Org Communications Department. Dear Coalition member, I have been with the company for 8 years now, and we know that things around here don't really change. There are times when people say they want to make it better, but then nothing comes of it. This is more me or complaints. There are times when people say they want to make it better, but then nothing comes of it. I'm sure the company throws tons of money towards these improvement measures. Regardless, the real reason I am writing is that I would like to be involved with the coalition. I'm not sure how this group was put together, but if your coalition is supposed to be full representation of our company, then why was I not offered a chance to be on the team in the first place? I've heard that you are recruiting staff to serve as volunteers and or spokespeople for the change effort. Please let me know how I can be more involved immediately. It sounds like your group has been at this for several weeks now. And from what I hear, you could use someone like me on the team to actually get things moving. The fourth step of Cotter's model is to enlist an army of volunteers to maximize chances of success. A need Sherry email acknowledge. Consider the stakeholder groups within me org that you might recruit from, as well as the individual characteristics that you should look for in a volunteer from any part of the organization. Your volunteer recruitment plan should include the qualities or and availabilities you're looking for in your volunteers, the method you will use to recruit them, and the roles that members in your volunteer army will perform. Keep these elements in mind as you answer questions about criteria for recruiting your volunteer army. Then submit them. Okay. Market and promote the plan appropriately. Be positive when discussing the plan. Encourage others to get involved. Internal stakeholders. Include anyone in the organization who will influence, engage, or interact with an identified goal, program, project, or decision. In a corporation, internal stakeholders include any individual or group who will question um, identify goal, program, project, or decision. In a corporation, information, technology, accounting, human resource operation, purchasing, and marketing may not be where a particular goal, program, project, decision originates, but from including representatives from one or more of those departments may enhance the opportunity for success and reduce potential barriers. Let me dissect what this means. So some type of organization who influence, engage, and interact with a goal, a program, project, or decision. Now, in a corporation and not an organization, internal stakeholders include any individual or group, which is someone who have an identified goal, like they said prior. A team comes from different avenues. A group is uh, someone who is an influence. Organization is people, a lot of people who are doing the same thing, but it's more bigger and they count numbers and statistics and um, therefore one cause and they have a vision statement and all of that. Um, and a mission. Um, then, for example, information technology, accounting, human resources operation, purchasing, and marketing may not be where a particular goal, program, project, or decision originates. So, what that means is the IT, accounting, human resource, and operations and marketing may not be where a particular goal, program, project, or decision originates. So the goals and the programs and the projects and the decisions basically may not be where it originates, but the representatives from one or more of those departments may enhance the opportunity for success to reduce potential barriers. Okay. Okay. So the reduction of potential barriers. Okay, cool. Representatives from internal groups that are identified as adding values to products or processes are known as key stakeholders, which is internal groups, which is groups that are internal, and they identify as adding value, adding something positive to products or a process, which are key stakeholders. Their role to advise the project team through a series of conversations, focus groups, or meetings. Their role is to advise the project team through a series of conversations. So, multiple conversations of these key stakeholders, which is representatives from internal groups that have positive value on its products or the process. Um, the purpose of this exchange is to bring a range of perspectives and organizational priorities to the decision making process. That's pretty cool. Perspectives, a range, a group with the similar views, sort of like when they put when I don't want to damage it. But you get a bunch of people in the government back in like the 1700s that put it some type of government form that gave you the First Amendment right, freedom of speech, they sat up there and they put this thing together, and they all came with they were a group. The purpose I'm getting at is they were a group, which a range group of similar views, but a range of different perspectives and organizational priorities. So they are for the priorities of the organization to the decision making progress or process. In nonprofit organization, internal stakeholders, which is somebody in a group that have a program. Okay, corporation influence a group. Cool. I wish I was one of them. Anyway, in nonprofit organization, internal stakeholders may include board members, consultants, and volunteers. Basically, they go to the board and they have similar views but different perspectives. Consultants are like people who consult you what stock to get into and what to get into to keep producing the same revenue or more. And volunteers that do things together. Nonprofit and vary in size and complexity. Key stakeholders may vary based on regulatory geography, financial or service area needs. Okay. In government organizations, internal key stakeholders may be identified as by position or rank. Their role in this case relates to expertise, perspective, and consider. Why did you turn off? Don't go to sleep on me. I'm not asleep, so don't you sleep. Perspective and consideration of potential obstacles as well as opportunities for success. External stakeholders are equally important. In a corporate setting, this group begins with clients, customers, vendors, distributors, and any other related party. Nonprofit external stakeholders include partnering organizations, local government representatives, and supply chain parties, and the people whom the nonprofit serves. Government agencies, external stakeholders include anyone in the agency that serves and all external parties who participate in pursuing the mission and the goals of the organization. That's what they're about. Key stakeholders tend to represent their expertise and opinions, priority variables in the decision making process. Stakeholder theory does not espouse reaching consensus among stakeholders. So, who are the key stakeholders in the government? Who are the representatives? That's what I want to know. I see them every day on TV. Okay. Rather, stakeholder opinion informs or no, stakeholder theory does not espouse reaching. No, I said that. Rather, stakeholder opinion informs or streamline decision making. The core group expands and consider perspectives beyond their own experience and observations. Just think, I've been here for it's 5:59. Someone is being born that is going to be the smartest person. Someone every day, some every minute, every second, someone is being born that is going to sit up there and be smarter than the next person because of genetics. By the time they reach my age, they may make like headlines. Where was I? Identify and considering the priorities and needs of stakeholders drive improvement and thwarts potential unseen obstacles. When you identify and you consider the priorities and needs of stakeholders, that drives improvement and stops potential unseen negative or challenges. The relationship between stakeholders and organization are key to organizational strategy. Collaboration with internal and external stakeholders, or with those who may not yet have stake in the organization, can provide a wide array of benefits for an organization and can build lasting strategic relationships. Stakeholders in the organization. I think, is Elon Musk an external stakeholder? Let's go back for a second. I'm at a strategic relationship. Hold on. So internally, anyone in an organization will influence, engage, or interact with. I've said this already, but I'm going to be sure what I'm saying. So inside of the organization of information, okay, IT, accounting, HR, operations, purchasing, marketing. Without them, it would be a collapse. But external government organization, internal key stakeholders may be identified by position or rank. A strategic relationship is any relationship that can help an organization or individual. This could be a peer organization, external stakeholder, the organization own employees, or any other party. Strategic relationships are transformational, not just transactional. You create something you wouldn't be able to do by yourself. When beginning a strategic relationship, it is important to consider what you have to offer as well as your organization stands to benefit. Peer, your employees, your peers, external, outside the realm, people that can sit up there and talk about and influence you to engage in certain things, finance, etc. And the employees there. Communication skills are essential in forming and leveraging strategic relationships. Even at its worst, we must talk to people and come up with a resolution. It must be a resolution whether you give or you take. So I decided that I'm not going to do as much as I wanted to do, and I'm just going to put it in phases, in increments, just to keep the peace. I allege that when the time is right, and I don't, because I don't I want good communication skills. I have that, but it's like, what do we do when the next person don't may not have that type of communication? I've seen some really good communicators, but I've seen, like today, good communicator. Big shout out to the guy. He did no wrong. He was the navigator of his own wrong. And I just wanted to make his second or maybe up to five show do good. He he he's a licensed family medical therapist, and his communication skills is wow. He should create his own podcast and interview people and actually do it out in the open, the skills that he have, like a Dr. Phil or something. And I wish nothing but success in that Indian guy's way. I would never see him as that. I just see him as a person. People like that, you everywhere you go in the world, you have to sell yourself. And once you sell yourself and show who you truly are, the right ones will forget about skin color and identify with what you can bring to either audiences or people. And that is why I do what I do. And communication skills, strategic relationships, you know, it that was a strategic relationship what we have. Any relationship that can help the organization, or it not only helped me, his video, a whether he gives me like a review or not, but it helped him. It still helped me, you know, but it helped him too. Not just transactional mean we gave each other something important, information, and enlighten each other minds. Transformational, two people together, not just one. And spiritually we'll all have God, but relationships, strategic relationships can transform your life. And it's not always just transactional. You give me, I give you. So for instance, I'm about to look on the website. I'm about to look on where I sat up there and wrote something to the classroom. And I don't want them to think it's just for the grade, but I just don't want to be surprised if you're out there and you're watching. I I don't want to be surprised, or we both have something in common. We want a good grade, right? And so maybe I get to interview you, I know that ain't going to happen, but I'm just throwing out there how I feel. I'm just throwing out there, fair enough. So I would love to interview you guys. I would love to talk to you guys. I would love to get to know you guys. The strategic relationship can transform and make not only UMGC look good, but you guys look good that you're making, because we have to work together, right? This could be transformational for the school and for the students to do the same thing I'm doing. Don't you want to do that? My show is just minute compared to the graphics and the engagement and the reels that other people perform and produce. I just give me a chance to not navigate and control you guys, but give me a chance to navigate and have a piece of the project so I can do it and turn it in a proper way. It's not that I don't want y'all to think that I don't like making relationships, because I truly do. I truly do. I want y'all to know that I have no hate, anger, irritation towards you guys. I just want you guys to know I pray every time that time changes to the right. I pray for everyone that we come together and we become more productive and vital to the meaning of life, and find out and we all know what the Big Bang was, or what a dark hole is, or what a white hole is, or the mysterious stuff that happened within the realms of the universe. That's what I want. It has nothing to do with any hate. And I hope whoever I get grouped with, that I won't record y'all. But whoever I get grouped with, it'll be on y'all turf. I'll vulnerable up. That ain't even a statement, but I'll vulnerable up and I'll be on y'all turf without recording. Just to show y'all how much I would like to trust you guys. That's how real I am. I don't know if keeping it real goes wrong, or which I think I did too much, students. hmm Anyway, after I read this and move on, we got a lot to do. So, stakeholder management. What is stakeholder management? The core team, which is people from different places, like IT, accounting, human resources, operations, purchasing, and marketing. In a corporate environment, which I know what that means, additional consideration includes the business value and product project generates key constraints and assumptions, the project schedule, the estimate budget, key risk. The more the core team consider the needs, expectation, influences, and perceptions of external stakeholders, the better sense they have of the. What I'm gonna start doing is reading the whole paragraph because I dissect and then come back and dissect it. They have a sense of potential for the identified goal, program, project, or decision to gain market momentum and success. So the core team, the main team, determines the most productive and costly, effective, or efficient is good, is above good standards, approach, angle to keep stakeholders informed about project goals and outcomes. So the project goals, which is something that we do when we write down the goals, the project goals, and the outcomes, which is the outcome of everything. So corporate environment, different levels of big tech or HR, different projects, different sectors that actually sits there and have meetings after meetings after meetings and direct the team of what their goal might be and have so much pressure from their cohorts of the way they want to navigate the actual sector. And sometimes it's not just the person in these places like non organizations, nonprofit organizations. I forgot what they call when it goes corporate, but they have these meetings. The staff is more important than the actual person. They can actually boot you out of the group, but somehow, some way, this head, the CEO, member, they sit up there and they do what they do by directing the team. They direct the team, and it's a beautiful thing when they're able to direct the team, or they direct the group, or organization, or staff, or people in the nonprofit organization. It's very cool. That takes a lot of power and persuasion, whether good or bad, however they're doing it. It takes a lot of persuasion to sway a group, wouldn't y'all say? So that type of environment where people are actually intelligent enough to direct people, I would call it the intelligent corporate environment. Additionally, considerations include business value, the product, which is the product of what they're selling, or project, whatever the project generates. Now, constraints is something like being held back, and assumptions, project schedule, projected schedule, to sit up there and have a projection schedule. Like, it needs to be 3 months from now, you sit up there and we do this. Sometimes it'll go a little beyond 3 months or a little before 3 months, but everything Trump did, it was on schedule or before schedule. Estimate budget to do this. And key risk. Those are the additional considerations. Nonprofit and core teams also identify goals and outcomes. Additional considerations will vary depending on the mission and size of the organization. Volunteers, experts, grants writers, data analysis, logistics, or development constraints, and others who will add significant value to the program or project at hand are important stakeholders. In a government organization, security may restrict the number of stakeholders who can be briefly completed on the project. While stakeholders may identify based on hierarchy or expertise, the concept of value added input from multiple perspectives will serve our organization well. Nonprofit core team identifies goals and outcomes. That's basically, I can't break that down no more. A nonprofit organization, a core team, the team of a nonprofit, they they make a goal and outcome, produce a goal and produce an outcome. They identify a goal, which is something that you do to uh, make whatever is on your mind, imagination that is helpful or beneficial to the team, and an outcome which the outcome of what you making plans. Basically, they identify goals that they want to accomplish and they make an outcome that they want to execute. Additional consideration will vary. That's nothing, you know what that means. The depending on the mission and size of the organization. So additional, anything more considerations to consider may vary depending on the mission and the size of the organizations. So whatever mission it may be and the size of the organization, it will identify the goals and the outcomes. So whatever goes, it depends on the mission, size, and organization. Volunteers, experts, grant writers, data analysts, logistics or development consultants, and others who will add significant value to the program or project at hand are important stakeholders. So that's self-explanatory. That's what I'm trying to say. Volunteer, someone who goes to an organization and works for free. Expert, someone who is a professional at something and uh, is just very use critical thinking and the skills that they learn over the years. Grant writers, somebody who gets grants or writes grant proposals. Data analysis, someone who spends years just doing data like Excel, logistics, top secret, or things like Tesla or something, in the money. Logistics is money mixed with data, but it's a bump up. Logistics is whatever you read from data, they got this right, just right. Whatever you read from data, that's the logistics of things. The logistics of whatever you read from the data, we come up with our logistics, our theories, or how things, de- people, how it would develop. Development people that get paid to develop logistics, and others who would add significant value to the program. Okay. At hand are important stakeholders. A government security may restrict the number of stakeholders who can be briefed completely on the project. So security, we know security is a force that needs to that is a positive force to protect. I look at security and I see protection or top secret or classified, and protection of top secret and classified or beyond that may restrict, which is constraint or keep away the number of stakeholders who can be briefed completely on the project. Okay. Stakeholders may be identified based on hierarchy. So, there's good people in a big, there's people that talks, there's small fry. There was this one podcaster that sat up there and was spending $10,000 for big time key players to come on the show. And they sat up there and he was spending 10,000. There are some people that spend more than that. It depends on these stakeholders' hierarchy or their expertise of concept of what they bring to the table or their value added input for more than one opinions and views that will serve an organization, which is more than a group that feels the same way and have a mission. Well, once the core team has identified and categorized stakeholders, it may create stakeholder management plan. Depending on size and complexity, a stakeholder management plan can range from one-page form in a project management plan to a detailed planning and assessment strategy. This plan lists all key stakeholders, identifies the project potential impact on them, and details how and when to communicate with them, track progress, and assess all outcomes. All conversations with key stakeholders should be documented in detail, including potential follow-up or one-on-one sessions as needed for clarity and validation. Once they identified, they put together and categorize, put in chunks, categorize what they wanted, they all identified. It makes a stakeholder management plan. It may create. It may create. I would think it would be they may create. But whatever, I'll go with it may create a stakeholder management plan. Because it and core team is kind of different. Core team and it, you identified a person or more than one person. It, okay, let me not, I don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not trying to bother nobody. Okay, it may create a stakeholder management plan. Uh, So the plan that they identify and categorize as stakeholders, depending on the number and how critical Um, the stakeholder management plan can range from one page form and project management plan to a detailed plan and assessment strategy. So project management is to have um wow. Basically it's to have some sort of agenda, an agenda for a team. And detail planning is when you're in great detail, you write um, a detailed planning and assessment strategy to assess the strategy, to put out a detail of a plan, and to put a project plan, detailed planning, and assessment strategy. I said that backwards, but you get the picture. The plan lists a key stakeholder, identifies the project's potential, creates the projects of the project management plan in detail with assessment on them, and details how and when to communicate with them, track project progress, and assess all outcomes. All conversations with key people should be documented, including potential follow up, one on one sessions as needed for Elon Musk always is around the White House, and they documented shit on Elon Musk. Hey, if they ever were to redact something that he did, I wouldn't even be mad at it. I know that pissed off a lot of people right now. But I wouldn't even be mad about it, because I know that what he's doing, he's trying to do for humanity. What he's doing, he's trying to do for humanity. He's So we just gonna sit around and do drugs all day and not think about what is out there, what our grandchildren, what our past, not our past, but our future grandchildren are gonna be in. Let's not think about just our children for a second. Think about our future children. He's not he does not have money by accident. He does not have money by accident. If this was a bad God, if the if there were gods out there that did not see this chosen one's vision, um, there would not be a Elon Musk. He has, I think he's in the trillions now. If the gods didn't want him to have money, he wouldn't have money. And look at what he's doing with his money. It's not like he's, I don't know, I don't want to put messed up stuff in his head, but look at what he's doing with the money. He's trying to get us to Mars as quickly and safely as possible. And then we can talk to other civilizations out there with greater advancements than us that can see a liar from a mile away. without being lured into something, or they can tell, they can feel, because your body lights up. They don't, people don't know this, but your body lights up a certain way when you lie. Just like a chemical, especially your brain, but it's like a chemical, like when you see the heat source, red, yellow, green, and whatever. And different parts of your brain lights up when you lie. And it's like, I'm pretty sure they can see do that. I can't. I wish we had glasses like that. I wish. It would make me feel so much better. And yeah. So consider the stakeholder groups within me org that you might recruit from, as well as the individual character. I read this already. Okay. Um, Criteria for recruiting and volunteer army. Uh-oh. What is this? What the hell did I just do with this? Okay, we're gonna dissect it again. Word for word, verbatim for verbatim. I remember, y'all remember McGraw Hill? Who is this? They're reading from a book, but no, they're doing freelance, but they're doing doctors come together, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They basically have a list of people, volunteers or people that get paid, that's doctors, and they come together and they come up with plans. They come up with plans and they come up with success, and they assess it, and then they plan, assess, and then execute. They made these forms, these projects. They made these projects, and they it's not even easy doing what I'm doing. Oh shoot. I'm sorry, y'all. My finger got off the button. It's not even easy doing what I'm doing. I may seem to make it look easy, but I internalized it. Now I have to review it with the sheet. This is not easy. And y'all all got together and y'all made this. It's making me really think. I have to dissect everything in order to understand what the heck y'all giving me. Um, so yeah, sometimes I have to go back and sorry, like I be moving my face, bop, 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 and I be having to push it back. But anyway, consider the stakeholder groups. Let's see. I did read that. Okay. How is recruit regarded by peers? Identify the criteria you would use to select the volunteer army through the following questions. How is the recruit regarded by peers? Now, is this is a sense of me, or let me read what she put again. She really didn't respect the company since she's been with it for 8 years, and it doesn't really change. And she said the times that she captured, people would say they did, they 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 want to make it better, but then nothing comes of it. She said she's sure company throws tons of money towards improving measures. So where does this money really go? Regardless, the real reason I'm writing is because I would like to be involved with the coalition. Okay. So this goes back to this one. Enlist an army of volunteers. The fourth step, I know that. What would I expect in a volunteer? Would it be like someone who's sharing their story? Consider the groups within me or internal, external, as well as the individual characteristics you should look for in a volunteer from any part of the organization. Your volunteer recruitment plan should include qualities, availability, method, roles, the one thing and more than one thing that members of your volunteer army will perform. Let me do this. I'm gonna put it right here. Mm. Um, your volunteer recruitment plan should include, let's see, the first question is, how is recruit regarded by peers? How is the recruit regarded by peers? So the employees there, how would the recruit be regarded? The recruit would be um, the recruit would be have, what would be a good quality? Loyalty and integrity while making sure that they loyal. Start off the sentence with loyal. How? Loyal, honest, respectful, loyal, honest, respectful, creative, with a heightened sense of curiosity, and major positive transition to what is going on. I'll fix that later. Curiosity and major positive transition to wanting to make changes and keep or work on them. Having integrity while making sure that are available as much as possible so that how much time would the recruit be able to contribute? Time. That's it? How much time? It's, hold on, let me read. How willing is the recruit's manager to let the recruit volunteer? How willing? How? If I need to add more to that other one, I will. How willing is the recruit manager? How acceptable is the recruit management to let the recruit volunteer? I believe the volunteer the recruit manager is very willing due to the manage the post pre volunteer recruitment pre volunteer recruitment behavior. um I believe the recruit manager is very willing. I'm gonna put acceptable, like willing and acceptable, due to the pre-volunteer recruitment behavior that the recruit possessed as previously stated. I stated that their recruit, sorry y'all. Let me push it back a little bit more. Hold on. Put it right here. Where is my clip? It's way back here. Okay. I believe the recruit management is very acceptable due to the pre-volunteer recruitment behavior. So that's before they volunteer recruitment. No, I don't need to put recruitment. I need to take that out. Behavior that the recruit possesses as previously stated. I said it, the recruit is respectful and thinks critically about her, his, or her team while seeking and learning and growing from action and adding value to the company. Um, what else? Recruit possessions, volunteer behavior, and that. I believe the recruit manager is very acceptable due to the pre-volunteer behavior that the recruit possesses, as I shouldn't even put as previously stated. Just sound aggressive somehow. I stated that the recruit is respectful and thinks critically about his or her team while seeking and learning and growing from action and adding value to the company. I believe that they would be a positive asset to telling and revolutionizing the me toward, towards a positive impact. I believe the recruit management or manager is very acceptable due to the free volunteer behavior that the recruit possesses. I stated that the recruit is respectful and thinks critically about. I didn't say all that. Gotta go back. But I did say this. They are also respectful and thinks critically about his or her team. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna delete that. That don't even need to be there. And I'm gonna add to this. I'm not sending this. not running this. Okay, we're moving on. Oh, oh, what is the recruit's attitude towards the change of plan? They accept it and would like to be a part of something that helps in, I forget what a change plan. I know what a change plan is. A change plan is the direction to change, the plan to change something. I shouldn't have to look it up. They accept it and would like to be a part of something that helps direction directors they accept it and would like to be a part of something that helps in directives and concentration while being positive. Directives is orders being given, like list of things, directives, and concentration to concentrate, to study, um, while remaining positive and having optimistic solutions for the within and for the plan. They they want to see and behavioral change within the system and would like to start and have a solution to want to be have a change plan to wanting to have a change plan. Wanting to have a change plan. See a no a beauty behavioral they 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 want to see a behavioral change within the system and would like to start to have a solution to wanting to have a change plan. The recruit must be is neutral due to the fact that they have been through negative but don't want to include their views upon their history and other recruits push their views. How willing is the recruit to promote the change? How willing, how acceptable is the recruit to promote the change? How classes, lectures, webinars, every outlet is very grand. They are definitely willing to look outside of the box and put positivity into promotion and anything that can be afforded or free. They are good and want to promote change in all ways, shape, and forms. Seven ten. This is their life as they need this change in order to transition to a better, to not only a better recruitment, but a better job. They want to participate and voice major concerns for as many um, classes, lectures, webinars. Every outlet is very grand. They are willing to look outside of the box and put positively into promotion and anything that can be afforded for free. They're very willing and want to promote change in all ways, shapes, and forms. This is their life as they need to change to transition not only to a better recruitment, but a better job. They want to participate and voice major concerns for as many people possible. They are for the cause. How will the recruit promote the change? Is that the same thing? Media, how will they do it and how willing they do it? How acceptable how acceptable is the recruit to promoting the change? That is, and I kind of like jumped the gun there, and I put how willing is the recruit to promote the change, like through classes, lectures, and every outlet. That's totally different. Um, how will they promote? I guess I can put media outlets and through the organization's money, resources, event fundraising, event outlets for more recruits, and event and event outlets for more recruits. They would network among each other and create a ritualistic resource for change within the organization. Once this has been reached externally, they would work on internally. Okay. I'm just writing all this skeleton. News, blasts, emails, meetings, events, special events, one on one networking, one to be to be, uh, 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 uh. I hope I got that. Three interviews before the member becomes the a part of the party that once they go through a rigorous amount of interviews and they want to engage with communities by helping the build a network of individuals who are just alike and want to see an innovative, positive change within the organization. I need a cough drop. Okay. How would you recruit members? news blasts, emails, meetings, special events, one-on-one networking, B2B. Hold on. 3 interviews before the member becomes a part of the party at hand. Once they go through a vigorous amount of interviews, 3, and they want to engage with communities by helping build a network of individuals who are just alike and want to see a innovative, positive change within the organization. What role do you see the volunteer army performing to help achieve your change? Keep in mind the volunteer army role should be coordinated by the guiding coalition. What role do you see the volunteer army performing to help achieve your change? A role do I see volunteer army performing? I gotta do one last thing. Did I get here? Oh, I ain't mean to download 2 of them. Ho, ho, too much. What role do you see the volunteer army performing to help you achieve your change? Let's dissect that one first. That's the first question. The change we have, um, the roles that this army performing to help achieve the goals that I want. And I talked about innovative and engaging in communities, innovative positive change, network, and ritualistic resources. Look outside the box and put positivity into promotion, anything that can be afforded or free. Okay. I see them in a role that entails managerial cross team management The change that me org wants to achieve is the ignorance of their counter corporate and supervisors. So the role, it will be number one, cross team management. What role leadership? Okay. They will be collaborating as they come up with goals and solutions that would as they come up, they assess with goals and solutions that would be the they would collaborate as they assess with goals and solutions. Beneficial to revolutionizing the system of me or is that even a word? Okay. Many people have been complaining about me. Damn it, or staff all the way up to corporate. This new volunteer army will be able to ask these managers questions, quiz them on what they don't know, and try to shadow and what they do know. That way, the ones that know better that team isn't performing any better can be direct redirected. The way the ones that know that way the ones that know better that team isn't performing any better can be redirected. If no change, then termination. These are the pressure symbols. These are the pressure these are the pressure mechanisms that go hand in hand with why people want to be recruited for the volunteer army. What role do you see in the volunteer army performing to help achieve change? Keep in mind, the volunteer army's role should be coordinated by the guiding coalition, the change, the organizational change that represents change. Oh, I already said that. Volunteer. I didn't mean to do that. Go back. I'm not going to turn it in today. But I am going to try to make this all dress up nice. Okay, cool. Yeah! Ah, I got it right. Okay. Um, this is the perfect time to save it. I'm gonna try to add more to it. Uh, Here we go. Here goes nothing. Behind. Um, let's see. I think that's the next slide. Let's see if we can save this. Um, save as. Hold on. Before we do that, we gotta go back up here to here to discussions. I'm gonna go to the class introductions, but hold on. I have a lot on my mind right now. I'm not turning in assignments, so I will go to projects and I'm at step 7. That's the second one, and it should be right here. Oh, it's on step 9. So what is this? Oh, we are turning in some stuff. We are diving in. I like that. I really do. Very challenging. A lot of reports, a lot of different things. Okay, now I'm gonna go to assignments. I knew I wanted to go to assignments, and this is called Project 1 Change Plan Part 1. Cloud K Project 1 Change Plan Part 1. Okie doke. That's saved. Okay, y'all. So, what time is it? I have not been on here for no 2 hours. I have. Oh my God. Just sitting up there moving my hair back and forth. Now I pushed it way back up here. Y'all noticed that shit, right? Yeah. So, on the flip side, teacher is doing groovy things for his students. And I forgot to read one more thing. If the teacher wrote something, hold on. What did I do with, hold on, y'all. Okay, it's right down there. As long as it's in the vicinity, so good. Okay, we're just bypassing that. January 13th was the last message. Cool, last message. Okay, okay. Trying to keep up with what he does. Okay, so there you have it, everybody. I sat up there and I did my work, but I have more work to do. That's just the brink of it. Tomorrow, I will go and I will look on the sector that I wrote. I will review everything I wrote. I will sit up there and dissect and add or subtract what I wrote. And I hope that you enjoyed it. Working through all this, I cleaned the house, I scrubbed the toilets, I need a pumice stone. And don't laugh, I, um, I guess it's the calcium deposits. So, but for the most part, I cleaned up and I enjoyed what I did. And I did enjoy doing this segment. I'm not finished with it, with the schoolwork. And there you have it, you guys. You have the Kimberly Cloud Show. I don't want to sit up there and leave you guys. That's how much I mean, we're so naive. We're so naive. How can you take an object and make it appear on the other side? And take care. That's a physics question for all you physics out there. Better start explaining to your wives. That's like cheating. Well, she's right, honey. Bye.